Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Mark Lilly, President and CEO of Lillyworks. Thank you, Emil, for having me on today's SolidCAM Virtual Summit. I'm going to be talking about how Lillyworks has historically helped manufacturers, machine shops, and custom manufacturers in particular, improve production performance. Lillyworks has a long history of helping manufacturing companies. We founded several different ERP software packages. One in particular is called ProfitKey in the 1980s. Visual Manufacturing is another in the 1990s, now owned by Infor. Both of these software applications are used by thousands of companies and tens of thousands of users. So we have a lot of experience in this market space. We also were awarded a patent on scheduling. So we're also experts in manufacturing scheduling in particular for job shops, machine shops, and custom manufacturers. So several years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago now, we started to look at how we were going to help manufacturers next. So we kind of looked around and took a poll of what was happening out in the marketplace of manufacturing and noticed that a lot of companies were experiencing a lot of similar operational performance issues. And maybe you recognize some of them here in working with your clients or if you are a manufacturing company. So how are machine shops managing production today? Well, when we actually look at it, and in spite of a lot of scheduling functionality that's out there, what we find is that most companies are using manual methods such as whiteboards, spreadsheets, or they are struggling with these finite scheduling tools that you may find in an ERP system like Visual, like ProfitKey, or the ERP system you have today. And what we found as we looked a little deeper into that was it wasn't the software per se. It's not that your ERP scheduling tool is broken. It's simply the model, the idea of having to run a capacity loading program to create a plan and then bring that plan out to production and attempt to execute it. There are just all sorts of disconnects along that path. The one most in particular is the idea of that once a plan hits the reality of production, it's such a dynamic environment that your customers are calling, changing due dates, a tool is breaking, your key setup person doesn't show up for work. So whatever plan you may have created or thought you were going to execute that day, oftentimes things get changed up pretty quickly. So if you've tried using these scheduling tools, you know the struggle. If you've been successful using them, you're in the minority. And that's frankly what we saw when we looked back and realized that 5, maybe 10% of our client base who had this wonderful scheduling functionality in their software were actually able to use it to get all those things they'd want from a scheduling tool. Better on-time delivery, shorter lead times, and improved flow, both from a financial and a customer service standpoint through their company. So we decided to take entirely a different approach. And instead of trying to create a plan and then asking production to execute that plan, how can we provide real-time visibility out in the shop floor so that everyone, either shop-wide or specific to a work center, a machine, even down to the person level, knows and can see what job, what project, what work order I should be paying attention to right now. So real-time priorities and job status, for example, where is the job? How is it tracking? How are all my jobs tracking without having to go out into the shop and walk around and look for exactly where it is? And then material status as well. Material status in terms of, do I have the material in-house right now to be able to start this job? Or I'm working at a workstation or a machine Has the previous operation completed the quantity required so that I can get started on my operation? So that's what SolidFlow is going to do for you. SolidFlow is going to give you real-time priorities so that there's no question as to which project, which job anyone in the shop should be working on right now. Also give you status of every job, so you can see very easily how much work is complete. I grab my pointer here. Here's today. Here's the work that needs to get done for the whole job. Here's what I've completed so far. Here's the work that remains. Here's my due date. Here's the time protection or buffer remaining. And this is actually how we drive the priorities. So it's a relative priority, and this is what we're showing here. Which job, regardless of its due date, is most in danger of being late? How are all my jobs tracking? I'd like to see all my jobs in that green zone where they're just flowing towards on-time delivery. The ones in the red, they're tracking late, or if they're up against this wall, they already are late. SolidFlow is also a crystal ball for your shop, so you can see out into the future when your jobs will be able to finish based upon all the other work that you will have going on out there, based upon your machine capacity, people capacity, and even material availability. So you're able to see where each job is predicted to finish. This one's predicted to be late. Based upon all the other work that I have going on, I can see specifically why, when, and where this job is predicted to finish based upon all my other priorities and all my other jobs through all my other machines. The benefits to SolidFlow are huge. Greater visibility into the shop floor is going to allow you and your operators to make the right decisions to dramatically improve the speed of flow through production. This is going to result in higher on-time delivery, reduced lead times, and better flow through the manufacturing process. This implements very quickly. We see in a matter of weeks, you can go live on this and be publishing your priorities. And typically within 2 or 3 months, you will see some dramatic improvements like these customers. This one is a medium-sized machine shop and fabricator. You can see down here in particular, this lower graph, they started out in November in the 40s and 50s of on-time delivery, and within just a couple months actually achieved 100% on-time delivery 1 week, averaging out into the low 90s. Phenomenal improvement. This is a smaller machine shop, around 10 machines, and they too, within just a few months, started in this case in the 70s, and then dramatically improved. And actually, the latest 2 months, they were in the high 90s, or even achieving 100%. We look forward to working with you to allow you to see your real-time priorities and improve your production performance. If you have more questions, or you'd like to see how this would work with your data, please contact your SolidCAM representative. Thank you.